Welcome to the OK Roundtable. My name is Kim.
I'm Mort.
And I'm Phot.
And I'm so
Kim.
so tired today. Yeah, no, I'm Kim. No.
And I'm Mort.
All right, right off the bat, I had what is it up with the whole, like, cause or before we really started, you were talking about the word problematic and how that's just kind of how you can fake deepness so easily on social media.
So it works really well in my line of work because I'm a consultant with a bunch of small business owners, so predominantly white older men in Alabama. You can guess what type of people we're talking about.
Okay,
and they'll say things that what? Yeah.
Millennials, I hate them too.
Exclusively millennial haters. No, but so they'll say things that are just absolutely horrible sometimes. I had a franchisee, no shit, this week say something to the effect of, yeah, I remember when Obama sent the IRS after conservatives.
No, that was the thing that they were going after political groups.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's problematic. Because it doesn't really say anything.
It's problematic.
Like, what part's problematic? How is it problem? What does that even mean? Nobody questions it. They're just like, okay, cool, you're agreeing with me. It's like putting up a blank slate of a word where somebody could just be like, oh, that means this.
No, because it was on someone's post pretty specifically about the Chick-fil-A thing. Like, it came up again that Chick-fil-A donates like $1.8 million or plus a year or whatever amount to anti-LGBT groups, and this guy, a mutual friend of ours, was like, I don't care, dude, it's real good fucking chicken, but he's a big dude. I mean, like, I'm a big dude. This dude's a big dude. Like, oh, he's a big dude. And so the response, the third train basically becomes like, of course you would, fatty. Like, you'd eat anything. You won't stop it no matter what. And then he goes on this fucking rant. It's completely misspelled. It has awful grammar. But he was like, oh man, like all your food's like pumped up with chemicals, like it doesn't matter, like intolerance will never go away, like it's not an instant thing, so who cares, like those anti-LGBT groups don't even like accomplish anything, so like that money's just like not going anywhere. And it's like, that's such a nihilistic view.
Yeah, that's a weird way to see that.
I'm gonna keep eating chicken because even though they use their profits to fund anti-LGBT groups, it's not. People are still going to be intolerant. There's still going to be gay people. So fuck it. And it's like, no, I think that's why you shouldn't eat there. Is because you're just like, you need to be like, there will be LGBT people. You can continue to be an ignorant fuckhead, but I don't have to support you and pay for it.
Yeah, because I mean, there's an argument to be made that because they're a franchise system, that you can support a local franchise and not want to support the company as a whole, and that actually could be problematic. But that's not the argument they're making, is it? I was hoping for more, I guess.
You know, I was kind of hoping there'd be something different too, but whatever. It was just something that annoyed me, and you said problematic before we started, and I was like, oh my god, problematic. Like, it would have been better if all he said was, yeah, the Chick-fil-A thing is problematic, but they have good chicken. Like, that would have been it for me. Chicken. Like, I would have been like, yeah. He's right. So deep. Hashtag deep.
Hashtag deep.
I have a strange question.
Perfect.
Do you stand or do you stay seated when you wipe your ass?
Neither. I use a bidet.
There is that third option. Okay, but think back to when you wiped. Because there wasn't always a time when you used a bidet. Like,
there wasn't. No. I mean, seated.
Phot?
Seated.
Stand.
I only learned like a few months ago that about half the people stand. I didn't know that was even a thing because the other half apparently doesn't know the other half exists.
Well, yeah. Why would you? It doesn't come up in conversation much. Like,
because how you wipe your ass is how you wipe your ass.
Right.
You sit down. We can't be friends.
Like. Like, so
fucking standards.
As a sitter, like, Phot, please tell me your logic of standing up, because I feel like there's something missing about
Dude,
standing up.
I can give you an answer, and I'm not gonna like it.
That's why I'm asking.
Because I'm fat.
Dude, look at me. No.
I think I'm bigger than you.
But I don't know how standing would help. Okay, so
I mean, we're a group called the Overweightknights. Like, let's not joke
My
around here.
arms suck.
My arms suck.
I can't. I can't. I don't know.
Oh shit.
I was. I can't. Okay.
I was good until I looked at Phot's face again. I lost it.
Okay. So going back to the same guy who like mistyped and all this other really big dude.
Oh, did he say? Oh, by the way, I stand.
No. That would be random. No, but that's not what happened. No, we were in another very odd discussion. We were talking about like universal situations, right? Something that we all deal with, blah blah blah, and
The human condition.
yeah, we were there at work, and they were kind of like somehow the conversation about having an itchy asshole came up. And everyone's kind of like, you know how it is. Like if you've worked all day and like you went to the restroom and like there's a possibility it didn't quite get all of it, so it's a little bothering you, just a little bit, it's just a little bothering you. Sometimes it could bother you, Maybe not you, Nick, anymore because you use a bidet, but I'm saying, but so it was kind of one of those things where it's like, have you ever had an itchy asshole? It's kind of like, oh yeah, before sometimes gotta get a good scratching. This guy says, that's never happened to me, and all of us were just like, how has that never happened to you? And he doubt and because like Phot was saying, like, oh, I'm a big dude, like that's why I have to stand. Here's his solution, because he's a big motherfucker. He says he's never had an itchy asshole because every time he shits he takes a shower afterwards. Like, bidet is one thing, but just like, well, I'm done, and then you take off your clothes and head in the shower.
I mean, if that's your way of doing things, how long is it before you just start cutting out the middleman?
Just shit in the shower and waffle stomp? And just waffle stomp it in, dude?
Like, dude, you need to stop. Hopefully this guy's not watching this, but if he is watching this, stop doing that.
I mean, I love the guy. I don't want to name him. I love the guy, but like, oh my god, like some of the things he says are like these weird like conspiracy theories and super nihilistic, and like I don't care. But like that moment, all of us were just like there at work going like, every time though, like
so does he just not take his shit at work?
Yeah, what do you have to do if you're not home?
He only lives like a block and a half away. But like I was just thinking, like, you've never had this shit like while at work, or do you say I'm gonna go on break and that's where you go? Like you're gonna go take a shit, shower, and be right back. Because you have to do both. You can't just do one.
That's crazy. No, that's so much work. So much work.
I just don't.
Unless like not to get too deep into this, but like unless his diet's just so bad that he poops like once a week.
I mean, I don't know. The dude's a big dude. I don't know. I saw what he eats. It's not like it was anything different or special.
I don't know, man. That's weird.
It's a little weird, but like, I don't know. I just thought that it was really weird. But Phot's a standard. I now look. I'm not gonna feel a little different,
Yeah, this whole bit's getting cut. Like it's never gonna make the light of day.
There's no cutting here, sir. But yeah. So Phot, did you watch the? Oh God. Why? Did you, Phot, did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I just watched it.
Okay, so I feel like Captain Marvel kind of started a bromance with Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson.
Clearly.
Yeah, so
I'm fine with that.
Like we watched a trailer called The Unicorn Store, and it's Brie Larson's directorial debut.
It is.
Like,
it is.
And Sam Jackson's in it. And I believe the guy from
Dopinder.
Yeah, Dopinder was in it.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy crap, man! And we call him Dopinder just because that's his name in Deadpool. That's not really his name.
I don't know his actual name.
But
I don't know actor names, so
I
still
usually
haven't seen
know them, but
Captain Marvel.
he's not big. So.
I mean, he might be. I mean,
I don't know anything else.
Dopinder. It's okay. His name is Karen Sony. Yeah. Nice. Sony. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. It might be Sony. I have no idea. Either way, like this movie looks interesting, and
apparently it was shot in 2017. Because looking at his credits, it's from 2017. So this was shot before Deadpool 2 was.
Maybe he got the role from Deadpool, essentially. I mean, that would make sense.
Seems that
right?
way. I mean, his career certainly took an uptick when he got Deadpool, but
it says Unicorn Store is a 2017 comedy film. Oh, that's why it was like in special presentations at like film festivals and shit. So people have seen it and they know about it for a while.
But it's a strange story in this movie.
Barely getting released on Netflix,
and it's barely.
So here's what's happened. So Rebel Wilson was attached to it in 2012, with Miguel Arteta directing, but somehow that just kind of got lost in production hell. And then in 2016, Brie Larson got attached for every role. I mean, it's director, producer, star. Yeah.
So the way that movies tend to work, even after they get made and stuff. So especially something that seems like this seems like a very independent, very low budget, not very like high profile movie, and the fact that it got festival viewings means that it made the rounds. Like they made it and made the rounds. The only thing they didn't have was distribution, and that's where
they sold it to somebody.
Right, someone has to buy it to distribute it. Usually, that's kind of like Fox or New Line Cinema, whatever. One of these companies buys it to be the people that say we're releasing it, and then how they release it matters because then it's kind of like it's going straight to DVD, it's getting a theatrical release, like all of that kind of comes into play. Kind of like with The Big Sick, after they made that, Amazon was like, we're putting that bitch in theaters. We're not just putting it on Prime. We're putting it in a theater. And so, like, it's just kind of like that. And so Netflix just recently bought it and was like, we're going to put it on Netflix. Woo!
Say hi.
Which dog is this?
This is Tira.
Oh.
This is the smallest.
That's the smallest pupper.
She's 55 pounds. So she is the smallest. I got her.
So,
hi, Lauren.
Oh God, Lauren's just there in the background.
Oh, easy.
I feel like now I have to know, since Phot stands, when.
Let me know where Phot stands.
I hate you. No,
Me too.
When you wipe, so you stand and you wipe, I have to know, do you fold or do you scrunch?
I used to scrunch and I've started folding, just because I feel like when I fold I use less toilet paper.
So it's a waste issue then.
I do not understand wadding because that just incredibly increases the chances of you accidentally getting your fingers in shit.
I've never had that issue.
Have you never busted through, like, not even once? You never had, like, oh man, like, I'm in the
like with
worst...
the one ply at the mall?
Yeah, get my entire fist and just jam it up my butt, and maybe like it'll just I've never done.
I mean, so we can talk after.
Like, is this a whatever you're into? I'm not here to king shame.
Doing this?
I'm not here to king shame.
Are we doing this? 'Cause...
I'm here to support and to love. Maybe not to participate, but
love from a distance.
You know, just one of those things. Yeah, so like, what's your week been like?
My week?
Yeah, like, what have you been playing? What have you been doing?
I have this past week I've been working. I've been
No, that's not what I'm
doing
talking
overnight.
about.
Yeah, you guys already know how my week's been. And my
No.
week before that, I've been trying to buy these components so I can get rid of what's currently in my case so I can have a better computer and I can start making videos again. Because I don't know, I think my old graphics card just I don't know.
And you said it was a 750?
750 Ti.
See, I upgraded from a 550 to a 970 when the Division 1 came out. And now the Division 2 has come out and you're still on a 750.
Yeah.
Like, that's a holy shit.
I think this computer is like 5 years old now.
I think
At least
it's older than
with
that,
all
my
of
dude.
its with all of its components, not the graphics card that I just put in now. Since I can actually use that.
You said
I have a motherboard, I have RAM coming, I still need the processor, and I still need new storage because I think my SSD is dying. Which is my boot drive. Once it's dead, you're not gonna see me for like.
Once it's dead, I'm gone. Oh
yeah, I'm gone. That's it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And yeah, my friend / boss gave me an Xbox because he wants me to play Apex with him.
That's right. You're gonna be console.
I don't want to.
Back to the console, dude. You're gonna start getting used to how it's played on console, and you're gonna be like, guys, I'm really good at Apex.
The way it was meant to be played.
Oh god.
And a controller.
On the Switch.
There. Oh. That's awful, dude. That just sounds ridiculous. I know you guys have heard me complain about a coworker for different various reasons multiple times. So I got another fucking issue with this particular person again today. So whenever we were so several weeks back we bought a tool chest, like, a toolbox. And so like he was like, I'll put it together. Like, I wanted to put it together, but like I started doing other things, and so he starts putting it together, and I'm like, I know that when I'm doing stuff, unless I specifically ask for help, I'm building it, and that's it. Leave me alone. Holy shit, pupper!
Oh my god, Britta.
So
this is Britta. She's the big one.
He messed up
He
messed up the instructions multiple times and put a lot of things upside down. Had to completely be deassembled and then reassembled correctly. Like, there was issues, and I was super pissed off because it took him all day to get it wrong. Like, oh, come on, dude. Well, today, like, I was putting together furniture. Like, we bought new desks for the office, and so we're putting them together and getting everything taken care of. But when I'm working now on the whatever it's called, the it's like a little shelving thing. I forgot what is it called, whatever. But the thing that goes on the desk, because it's a big old U desk, and then it has a nice little cool. I said the word a billion times a day, and now because I've said it, it's no longer in my goddamn head. And we start putting it together, and he wants to start helping me, and I'm like, okay, but I need him more like I'm sitting in the middle, and I have 17,000 panels and parts around me. When I say, like, oh, I need J, I need you to find J and, like, get it to me and I can put it together. Well, it got to the point where all the little small things were done, and now it became, like, screwing on big panels. So it's like, if I'm screwing over here, you can totally get some stuff, like, put together on the other side. So I'm over here, and, like, he picks up a screwdriver and starts to, like, help me. I'm like, okay, like, I don't want you to, fuck this up. And the first thing he does, because the way that those, like, snap-on pieces go together, you have, like, the wood bits and the metal bits that you lock. Well, the metal bit, you have to screw on, and then it gets flush, and you have to make sure it's straight. So he picks one of those pieces up and goes for it. And immediately the manager goes, make sure it goes straight. I'm like, yeah, make sure it's straight or I'm going to take those tools away from you. And he's like, and he starts screwing it. And immediately it's like crooked. And we're like, what the fuck, dude? Like this is the first thing you've done. And then he's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. You can just, like it's only a little crooked. It's not a big deal. You can just push it in. Just push it in. And I was like, you want me to brute force the fucking furniture together? Like, it's meant to line up and then lock. If I brute force it, it's particle board. It will break. Like, what do you think? Just shove it in, dude. No, it's cool. Just shove it in. Like, no, my dudes. No. So after that, I was kind of like, you just keep holding things. Like, you no longer touch tools. You hold things and get things for me. That's it. That's your job. And I stayed like an extra hour or so just to finish. Oh my goodness. My hand is actually like rubbed raw because the good screwdriver we have has a wooden handle. So I mean, I'm just wood.
Just the good one?
It is a good one. It's a great fucking screwdriver. Okay. But we need to buy new tools because we have a lot of newer tools, but they've been used so hard that they slip, and I don't want to sit there and be slipping and stabbing particle board. Right.
I have a ratcheting screwdriver from Stanley that I like a lot.
Ooh.
So I don't have to work very hard. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I should probably that's what we need to look into getting more tools. The problem is it's spending tons of money. It's just spending tons of money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem in my industry too. Okay, so I've been watching a new show lately. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it.
I didn't realize you were watching TV.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Or is it Netflix? Okay.
It's Netflix. But Nailed It, the cooking show.
Lauren was just telling me about that.
Absolutely enthralled with it. I sit there and watch it and just bust a gut the entire fucking time. Because it's taking people that have either minimal or very little cooking experience and having them do the shit they find on Pinterest or Etsy, where it's just crazy, cakes or whatever, just crazy shit. And of course they're terrible at it. They have a time limit and they have no experience. They just fuck it up every time.
That sounds awful.
It's hilarious though, because there's no expectation, there's no pressure. It's very low key, and it's just people kind of making fun of it. It's Nicole Byer who's the host, who's a very funny comedian. Jacques Torres, who's
I'm kind of whatever about the host. I watched part of it and I was like, I don't know. I felt weird about it.
I guess it depends on your opinion of Nicole Byer, but I think she's hilarious. So. But I don't know, man. I crack up every time anything on that show happens. I just sit here and die the whole time because they're terrible. I mean, these people are just truly awful.
Right.
I don't know.
Do they have egos too?
No, these people know they're terrible. They're coming in, they're like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? Could you imagine if someone says, I don't know what I'm doing, but guess what? I'm gonna rock this. Oh god.
Yeah. And so they go in and my favorite thing is it'll be oh, I forgot to put the flour in my cake.
Oh.
And you're like, you don't forget the flour, or instead of using powdered sugar, using granulated, so their fudge is now grainy. And it's just fucking hilarious because again, there's no real pressure. It's not like Gordon Ramsay's coming in there and yelling at them. The concept is to be more supportive and wholesome, even when they screw it up entirely. They try and find something good about it and kind of build them up. Right, so it's a different approach to cooking show. It's very low key, which I can appreciate. The high anxiety ones I'm just not into at all. I've worked in the kitchen. I don't need to watch a show about it.
I mean, it's different. It's different when it's definitely Gordon Ramsay or real actual kitchen style shit. Yep. What after Lauren told me about that show, I don't know. Phot, are you into cooking shows at all? Do you watch anything where people make food?
I don't watch anything. I've been meaning to watch a lot more TV, but no, I haven't.
I feel like with how you spend some of your time, you could put that switch down and put on Netflix. I'm just saying.
I don't. Or just put on Netflix while you play the Switch. You can do both. It's fine.
eat.
I should. I do technically pay for it.
Yeah, that's even worse. Well, no,
Yeah.
because the reason I asked is because there's a
Stop doing
show.
that.
Like you guys know me. I'll sometimes talk about a lot of British shows that I watch, and quite a bit of Korean shows. There's a Korean show that's on Netflix now, and it makes me super happy. It truncates the first couple of years, like has like a best of episode thing, where it has the entire first season is just a compilation of the best episodes over a couple of years. So like you get 20 episodes throughout the last 4 years, and then it starts like here's 2017, here's all 2017, blah blah. So what they do, this Korean show, is it's called in Korean anyway. It's called Please Take Care of My Fridge, but in the English translation, it's a Chef in My Fridge. So the concept is you have these 8, or there's more, but like in the episode there are 8 chefs, 8 classically trained in different styles. Like there's one that's a Chinese trained, one is Italian, one's French, one's more English. There's like only one, like one's actually Chinese, and then 6 of them are Korean, and then like one is a foreigner from like Belgium. I forgot where he's from. I need to watch it again. But he's the only guy. He's the only white guy there. But like they all speak Korean. Like even the white guy is just there speaking Korean. It's amazing. And so you have these 8 chefs and the 2 hosts, and they bring in 2 guests. And these guests are usually like actors, the idols, the people who the musicians and shit, or just other famous people. Gordon Ramsay has appeared on the show before as a guest chef as well. It's pretty crazy. What they do is they then take these 2 people, these 2 guests, and they sit on opposite sides, and they bring in their fridge from home. Like the crew goes and like unplugs their shit and takes it to the studio, and then they have to cook stuff from that person's fridge. And so each person has 2 themes. So usually like, oh, I want to try a meat centered dish, and then I want a dish that makes me feel like homemade cooking. Like I want to make it feel like my mom made it. And so those are the themes that you have to keep in mind. Really, that's it. And then the other person will have something different. Like I want a dessert and blah blah blah. But whatever. So they go each at a time. There's each set of guests have 2 episodes because there's 8 chefs. So what ends up happening is 2 chefs compete against each other per theme. So the meat centered dish, there's gonna be 2 chefs that do it, and then 2 chefs pick the homemade one. So there you go. There's 4 chefs. There's a whole episode. So they have 15. They then have to go through this fridge, see what the ingredients are, and then they have after they decide what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do it, they have 15 minutes to make a dish. And it's like, so they have to compete against each other, and then the guest eats both of them, so he eats both meat meals, and then picks a winner after the 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then they do the next one. Oh, homemade. The other 2 chefs go up. They have 15 minutes to cook a dish, and then the guest eats it, and then they pick a winner. And then the next episode after that is the next guest's fridge and the next guest's style of shit. It is the most compelling thing, and I don't get why, to see these fuckers compete against each other. Like, they have 15 minutes to make a dish, and they do. It's like watching fucking Bob Ross make a painting, where you're like, you give me the same tools, I'll never be able to cook that well. Like, never in my damn life. Like, I don't know, Phot, do you watch a lot of stuff with subtitles?
No.
You don't even watch anime? You watch, like, dubbed anime?
I haven't had much time to really do anything.
But okay, typically, I figure you might watch anime, right? You have in the past. You have in the past, correct?
I have in the past, yes.
Okay, well, when you watched it, did you watch it dubbed or subbed?
The last anime I saw was the Gundam, so I don't know. It was
The Gundam.
subbed.
Oh, that's right. That's the
Yeah,
last.
the one where
Yeah.
he's just like, "Oh, come to my birthday party. I'm gonna kill you."
Come on,
okay.
come on. That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
I probably should go back and finish it now, just because I started it. Might as well.
I know Nick's not versed in Gundam Wing as much.
Not really, no.
That one particular series where the biggest edgelord on the planet, Yui, like, oh my god,
What?
he's so like, oh, I have to do this, and like he's just no joy. They killed the joy out of him, and it's just like, oh my god.
Did Lauren make you watch that?
No, I was just commenting on what the word was. Trying to help out. I don't know the show. I don't watch it.
Have you still not watched One Punch Man?
No.
One Punch.
No.
Oh,
I think before that Gundam thing you showed me, that was the last anime I seriously sat down and watched. And even then, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to watch it because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. My cousin and Chris had to keep badgering me to watch it.
The question is though, did you?
Yeah, after the second episode, I was like, all right, I can get to this. I can get down to this.
Okay, so explain One Punch Man as a concept to Nick. Like, I don't know, Nick, have you ever heard of One Punch Man?
Yeah, like I know the general idea. I don't know any of the plot, but I know the premise.
Oh, okay. Phot, go over the plot. That's what we should. That's something we should do. Phot explains the plot. Like we get him to watch something and see if he can tell us back what the fuck happened in it. All right, Phot, go.
One Punch Man. There's this dude who, I don't know, he works like an office job and he's just fed up with, I guess, the mundane life of having to go to work, having a schedule or something. I don't know. He comes across what, like a villain, where he.
It was the crab. It was the lobster.
Yeah,
man.
it was the crab guy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you" or something. I don't know. He beats him. I can't remember, but it inspires him to be a superhero. Apparently, in this world, it's just like one giant city, and every day there's just like a new villain who just comes in and just like murders half the town. But then the next episode, it's like, oh, everything's back to normal again.
Okay.
But it inspires him to kind of become a superhero. So what, for like 3 years, he has like a set routine, like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 10K mile every single day, no AC. He does that for I don't know, a few years, and then he comes out of nowhere, and he's just like this stupid, overpowered dude who essentially is so powerful. He like just like the what is it, the like just a general punching motion will just like send shockwaves in front of him.
It was Mary Sue the show.
Now the problem is he's so powerful. Every villain that he comes across, he kills it with little to no effort, and he's become bored of being a superhero. So the whole thing is just him being like, oh, I guess I'm gonna go get something to eat. And as he goes and he gets something to eat, like there's like just like a monster, there's like a mosquito lady trying to kill like a robot dude, and he just swats at like the mosquito girl, and there's just blood all over like the building. He's like, oh man, mosquitoes suck.
It's a strange concept because it basically takes a character and through the simple hard work and dedication, he became the strongest person ever, and like he only needs to like one punch, like literally one punch, and they're dead, and he's just like, fuck, I'm bored. Like, he doesn't care. Like, there's this heroes guild that they're all part of, and they get ranked and this and that, and that's kind of how he gets into actually being a hero as opposed to just being, whatever. And they're like, oh my god, the world is ending. Like, and he's just kind of like, wonder if they're having a sale at the supermarket on Saturday. I should probably go. Oh, fuck, it's Sunday. I missed it. Like, shit. Like, like that's where his mind's at. He doesn't give a fuck about what's going on. He doesn't care. Like, cause everyone just bores the shit out of him. And he has this protege who's a typical, like, oh, you beat me. I must not follow you. And you be my mentor. And you'll teach me how to be as great as you. And he's just kind of like, okay, that's fine. Like... That's fine. And this guy he's like super augmented. Like he's just every cybernetic piece is like swapped out to upgrading because he needs to get stronger and stronger. And here's Saitama just like I don't know, try harder. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like like and he's like, okay, let's fight. Like you promised we'd fight. So they fight, and the entire time he's just like kind of like dodging. And he's like. All these super flashy moves, like like a typical shonen, big flash, explosion attack, and then he just kind of goes like, "Wow, that was really impressive. That was pretty neat." Like, and he like, "Come on, take me seriously." Okay, he just kind of goes, "Doop," and like defeats him, and he's like, "All right, well,
like, let's go get something to eat.
Let's go get something to eat." Like,
hey, what's next?
What is next? And I feel like, damn, that's such a great show to kind of like watch. Like season 2's coming out soon, and
it's only like 10 episodes, 10, 12 episodes.
Yeah, like
it's so much fun.
Do it. Is it on something I can stream it from?
You can watch it on Netflix, but it's dubbed. I don't know how the dubbed
I prefer
is.
Well,
then just watch it on
then
Netflix.
just watch it on Netflix.
All right, I can do that. I'll
Like
do my homework for next time.
there we go.
You do that now, and I'll watch Korean cooking shows.
Hey, yeah.
I need to watch.
Come
The
back
Good
next
Place
week and
too,
see what happens.
because I'd like to be able to talk to somebody about the Good Place, and I can't. It's just me and Lauren saying the same shit over and over again to each other.
Listen, Bortles. Like I'm on board.
Like I shouldn't have to push people that hard to watch the damn show. Like,
I mean, the problem is, I think that with so much to watch, it's just it's hard to keep up. How do you keep up?
And that one's hard because you can't explain any of the plot whatsoever, because first episode starts off with, I mean, the first 5 minutes has like a crazy kind of twist to it, and then the first episode is a twist, and it just keeps twisting from then. So
yeah, it's nonstop twist, and that might be
the way even Michael Schur describes it is that whereas another show would prolong some of these plot lines for 2 or 3 seasons, they're done in 1 or 2 episodes. So
right.
Like, this episode could have been an entire season if they'd wanted it to, and they're just like, nope, 1 episode, let's go, moving on.
Word.
And I love that about it. It's frenetic.
Like let's keep the pace moving. You gotta keep it.
You don't see a lot of plot-driven, network TV sitcoms. You just don't see it like that anymore.
I mean,
22 and a half minutes, you just churn out some cutaway gags and call it a day. That's what we see.
It's
a laugh track.
It's one of those things where you have to.
Can we insert a laugh track right there? Cut this out, but put a laugh track.
Easy clap.
Remember, people. Oh, you can't see that. Never mind.
Do you guys not have phones? No. It's very strange that the way that television has evolved, like, because it was very much every episode is isolated. And like I can't think of stuff.
Well, you couldn't make shows that depended on the plot too much because people could miss episodes. If you just weren't available at the time, you just were lost. So things had to be self-contained, or else they wouldn't be entertaining. Shows would get canceled.
Right, and I think that's fucking crazy. And I understand it though. Like you can pick up and watch any I Love Lucy episode, and you're not sitting there going like, "Oh, I missed out." But like there are some where there's enough plot progression, I think, that it kind of, you still get lost. Like I don't know if you like kind of like Scrubs. Scrubs has enough plot progression and character arcs that you sit there, and if you pick up in season 5, like you're here with like Carla.
There you go.
Oh man, the face it froze on that was so good. I was trying to print screen real quick.
with
What
Carla,
about the video?
Carla and Turk are married and they have a kid. This and that. In season 1, that's not the case. They don't even know each other. Like again, it's just one of those things where stuff happens like at a quick enough pace that it's significant enough. But like I don't see that in a lot of other older shows. You know what I mean? Like older shows. Like you don't see that in Friends. I mean, you do see that in Friends actually, but that's more like
what you would see back in the day is you'd have the A and B plot would be what they were, and the C plot would always be something to move the whole season along. So there'd always be some kind of underlying thing, and then occasionally you'd bump up to a B or an A plot. But there's always at least some C level plot of overarching theme to a season.
all right.
That helps. You know that.
Uh-oh. The Discord
The
just...
sweet spot, making it to where you didn't have to see every episode, but you wanted to, because that's where they made their money. But it's different now. Now it's binging. Everybody binges, so things are designed with the idea that you're going to sit and watch huge chunks, if not the entire thing, all at once.
Right. Which honestly, I prefer.
Driven stuff because people will just continue on the next episode immediately.
Well, because people were saying like, okay, well, this should be a movie, and now I don't have to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear let's make XYZ a movie ever again. I want to hear someone say I want to make a fucking 13-part series out of this. I want to see 10 hours worth of content. Don't give me anything less. I'll be fucking disappointed. If you give me anything less than a extremely plot driven, extremely in depth like storyline, like it's kind of the reason why like you see the MCU and you see where it started, and you kind of see like, oh, it's just a mirror version of the good guy, and they're gonna fight, and then that's gonna be it.
Right.
Well then, not how I expected this to go.
How long have we been out? That's the question.
It was out for a bit, but I feel like I could put in a beep technical difficulties thing. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's not fair. Mort's pretty white. Like he's Alabama white. Like he's
our token white guy.
He's our token white guy. You got two big Mexicans and a white man who just brings it. He gives us that majority perspective that we don't get. You know, we just don't get the white male perspective enough, and we just have to go after it. You know, we need to really be on top of it and really enjoy the privilege that we get to hear from the white male perspective.
But you'll know I can hear you, right?
I wasn't doing it to hide from you. I'm merely saying the facts.
Listen, fuckers. I've been through some shit that y'all haven't, that most white people will never understand.
You have a unique perspective, but you also have the white male perspective, and it's enough to count. It's enough to count it. It's enough to count Kobe. No, no Bortles. Sorry, we gotta keep it Bortles. Gotta keep it Bortles. But yeah, I guess that we can basically move on to another topic.
Hell yeah! What are we talking about?
White males. No. So like.
Buttery males? Butter. That's the way I prefer it, though.
I like them covered in butter, margarine at times if butter is not available.
I am a full-fat, grass-fed butter only.
I need my cows to be grass-fed.
It's gotta be that Kerrygold shit. Like, I don't settle for nothing less. I have no money because it's all spent on Kerrygold, but like, oh yeah.
What the fuck is Kerrygold?
It's imported Irish butter that's grass-fed and expensive as fuck.
Oh my goodness. I prefer curry. They tend to be bland in my taste. Curry covered men? You prefer curry males?
Curry males?
Like Steph Curry or what level of curry are we at right now? Um,
So we could really lean into the whole like talk show thing and talk about what happened today in the news.
I feel like there's not enough information there. Like the report dropped, but it's still one of those things where none of us have seen it, and the fact that so many people on either side are like, "This is it," and it's like,
"This is it. This proves everything." Oh no, this doesn't prove anything.
yeah, like it's kind of like
just a whole lot of nothing. They have to wait until someone shifts through the whole thing.
Someone actually said we won, and it's like, you don't know anything. We know that it's done. Yes, we're talking about the Robert Mueller report. If in case you're wondering, was turned into the Attorney General, who's apparently going to summarize it and kind of like paraphrase it and release that. And everyone's like, "Can we get the full report though? Like, we'd like to comb through it with a fine fucking comb ourselves."
Yeah, and they will. Congress will subpoena it. Congress can read it on the floor of the House if they want. There's any number of ways that that's going to come out. That's not really an issue.
Didn't they already say they were going to do it?
But yeah, I mean, they said they would ask for it, and they will.
There's already a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit filed the moment that it was said that it was returned in. So it's already in.
And Mueller's report notwithstanding, what's more interesting is what SDNY is doing, and that's the Southern District of New York,
right?
The U.S. Attorney's Office. State crimes, it's not going to matter. Like,
yeah, there was a
kind of mandate for them to not look into other crimes. SDNY will do whatever it wants, and they're not the biggest fans of the kind of crime that
they go after white collar real hard.
And one of their own was fired by Trump for not making a fealty pledge in Preet Bharara. So, no love lost there. They're not gonna do anything other than their jobs, but it's not gonna be pretty for the Trumps probably.
Right, and as Mega Sega in chat was saying, like, of course it's over. Trump cut the funding down to near non-existent. It's like, yeah, there was definitely attempts at interference, but like, I saw someone post about like, oh, so they recommended no further indictments. I wonder what this means, and it's kind of like,
doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything because the report and everything that was turned over to agencies like the Southern District of New York, basically, you can say, I don't think that we should pursue federal because, one, it's pardonable. A lot of those are pardonable, et cetera, et cetera. But you know that it's going to be like, but the rest of you take this information and you do it within your jurisdictions and fucking do what you got to do.
Well, and what's interesting about that is that a lot of these people that are working on Mueller's team or have been working on Mueller's team will now go back to their jobs and continue working on these same cases.
Yeah.
Be assigned to working on these cases. So really, it's not even anything different. It's just continuity in a slightly different form.
The federal investigation is over. Now, whatever was uncovered can now be actioned and actionable towards whoever committed them. They went after the ones they could that they knew if they were pardoned, it'd be kind of a like now we got to go after state stuff. Because like what happened with Manafort, as soon as the federal stuff came out, he was already indicted again on state stuff, like, immediately. Like
and even that act alone was kind of a shot across the bow. It was a very clear, like, you may think for just a second you've gotten away, but that's the only second you're going to get.
Right.
He walked out of the courtroom and then found out.
Within 30 minutes?
Got wheeled.
Yeah, like within 30 minutes, they were like, by the way, here's all the state charges we're bringing up. So prepare to be in court again real soon. So yeah. It's definitely one of those things where what they found on you federally, they definitely found more at the state level. Because it's kind of one of those things where, yeah, killing someone's a federal crime. But if you get, like, pardoned for the federal version of it, like the state, whatever state it took place in, they're still going to get you.
Right.
Like, so, like, cool, you got pardoned for that. But even then, a pardon still admits guilt, which, again, Joe Arpaio seems to not understand. But that's neither here nor there.
And regardless of what happens here, I don't see any path in which the current Senate ever votes for impeachment. So our most realistic option of ever having Trump out of office is just to elect somebody different. And that's Pete Buttigieg made the point on his CNN town hall, I think it was, that it's important to vote Donald Trump out. It's important to take that stand as a country, proactively together as one and stand against proto-fascism. And we need to do that. I think that's important. I think we need to go that direction.
It would be a power
I'd rather
move.
vote him out and then go ahead and press charges if there are any. That's the right way forward, in my opinion. So, whatever the report says or doesn't say, it's not going to make any difference how things proceed. Really, just moving on to the next step.
Yeah, a pardon gets you out of jail. Like what's being said in the chat is like, what could be pardoned, it will get him out of jail free card, even if it gives him guilt. But I mean, it won't
get him out of SDNY though.
It won't get him out of the state jurisdiction. And
multiple states could go after him too, because a lot of these crimes happen in various different places.
Right.
New York, D.C., Florida. There's lots of opportunities for states to take a stand if they want.
Yeah, it's not a. I know this is probably not the Phot's forte, the political sphere, the politosphere. Like how we're handling.
What do you think about this, Phot? He's.
I'm gonna just sit here.
Oh.
I believe that Phot has given his 2 cents there. Mega, since we missed it, we talked about quite a bit earlier. Hopefully you can see it on YouTube. But I don't know. It's so strange that before anyone's ever read it, people are like declaring victory, and it's like, is it because no one came to like arrest somebody again immediately? Like I don't know what more you want. Like people still think, oh, see, it was all for nothing. It's like they got Manafort, they got Stone, they got
Trump is an
Flynn,
undead co-conspirator. That's not nothing. You can act like it's nothing, but it's not nothing.
Yeah,
it's huge. It's huge. It's unprecedented. The campaign chairman of a sitting president going to federal prison for crimes committed during that campaign is unprecedented. There's nothing like that in our entire political history. People
Nixon?
act like it's not a big deal.
Nixon had
after he was out of office.
Well, wasn't that during the campaign though? During the re-election campaign?
It was committed during the campaign, but Nixon had already resigned the presidency several weeks. This is why we still have the sitting president. His campaign was run by this person who's now going to federal prison.
Oh, okay.
This is not just some crime that we discovered much later and prosecuted somebody after they were out of office. This was active. We caught it in the act. The wheels of justice take time to move, but 2.5 years into the presidency and his campaign chairman's going to federal prison. That's not nothing. That's huge. It is without precedent, and that point is lost often.
Right. It's something that I feel people with their head in the sand want to just like deflect, and it's like it's a problem. Like, there are problems. It's okay. Like, it's okay to admit that it's problematic. Like there's just been issues. Like I can disagree with people on their policy beliefs and this and that. We can have a nice discussion. But when you say like straight up, well, it's whatever. It's nothing. It's like, you don't know that. I don't know that it's not nothing, but I know that all these indictments are something. I know an unindicted co-conspirator is something. I know that those sorts of things mean something in a grander scheme, especially when it comes to the discourse of the country. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of weird how we kind of flipped onto that one. I blame Phot, and I blame him because he's in Southern California.
That's fair. That's fair. So, here's an interesting question. Okay. I wonder which of our votes matters the least. Like, Phot is a Californian, you as a Texan, or me as an Alabamian.
Oh, is that what you call yourselves?
That's what we call ourselves. What else are we going to call ourselves? Alabamans?
I mean, I probably would have preferred that. If
Alabamians.
See, adding an ERS to anything here is kind of considered a slight when it's used that way. Like a Bammer would be an insult towards a Bama fan. A Barner is what they call Auburn fans because they call it a cow college.
Oh, see, I
There's
didn't
no
know
slight
that.
against UAB because we are the best.
I didn't know that.
You can't be beat. You try and kill us.
I feel like this is a very specific niche by the way Alabama football is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
this is Alabama college football, deep pull.
I went to one.
We lost everybody. The one viewer we had's gone. We're done.
Chat calls them Bamians.
Cameronians.
We just call them minions, Baminians. Is that okay? We call them Baminians.
I'm just curious. Like, I don't know. I mean, population-wise,
well,
mine probably counts more than either of y'all's.
The whole discussion around the Electoral College, interestingly enough, is a very strange one because people don't ever take the history of it into account. Where the point of it was to kind of instill and like reinforce the institutions of like slavery and population count. Like, you're taking into account that these people don't count, so there's less of us. We need to have more representation because our population is mostly people who don't count as people. Mm-hmm. And so when you add in a couple hundred years of history where now people can vote, and it feels like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't. Like, maybe we should... Like, my vote should not count less. Everyone's like, oh, your vote matters. I'm like, yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, my vote doesn't.
But to play devil's advocate, we have intentionally slanted our laws here in Alabama to imprison black people and then take away their voting rights because of it. So we've kind of made it kind of fair again because now their votes don't count.
Yeah,
I'm being sarcastic. Like, it's terrible that we do that, but that's a real thing.
Yeah, the whole, if you're a felon, you can't vote, and people are kind of like, that makes sense. You commit a crime, blah blah blah. But then at the same time, you then look like, okay, well, who gets sent to jail and why?
And like, where is that spelled out in the Constitution? That's what we base all of our laws on, and that's not what any of the forefathers thought of when they were writing it. So.
See, okay, so chat just pointed out, Mega Sega just pointed out, Florida just made it legal for ex-cons to vote. Yes, but...
We did that just a couple of years ago, too. Alabama just recently changed that. But it's an important change. It's one that we campaigned for a long time.
I was going to mention that, but...
then say it. Speak up, Phot.
Speak, son.
Speak. But did you hear? They apparently... They recently fucking came out.
Yeah, like they make like modifications to it, so it's like,
yeah, it's one of those things where they passed basically a constitutional amendment, a Florida constitutional amendment for ex-felons, right? But then recently they are trying to they have to do it to where they have to pay money to do it now. Like they have to pay off all their court costs, even though if it's not like in their sentence that they have to pay their court costs. So it's like a lot of court costs are like $50,000 or even more. It's court costs.
They're not allowed to vote until all that is paid off.
Child support.
Yeah.
Everything. You have to be essentially debt free, and then you'll have your ex-con ability to vote. And it's kind of like you're literally saying that unless you have money, which again goes on the whole class issue. Like, you can say it's a race issue because it kind of is, but it's definitely a class issue. But the problem is who are in those classes, then it becomes a race issue. Like, if it was like England where it's a class issue, but it's just like, a lot of white people, it becomes a true class issue. Like, then it becomes like, who cares if you're rich, or you're not, and you kind of fall within that line. But here in America, like, the class issue is a race issue, in a major way. And it kind of speaks, like, think about To Kill a Mockingbird, where it'd be better to be a poor white than even a rich black kind of thing. where it doesn't matter because the race factor comes in so hard and you're so heavily slanted against you. But I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. It's so weird that they pass the people passed a constitutional amendment, and like immediately they're kind of like, but how do we fuck that up? And it's like,
I mean, that's how the Republican Party works. It's a war of attrition. It's a, death by 1,000 cuts. You don't have to kill it all in one fell swoop. You just have to keep neutering it until it doesn't do anything or kills itself. It's frustrating to live here and see that shit happen.
yeah, it's definitely a strange thing to be in Texas and to have even moderate and like slight to the left views on anything, because if you're not as far right, no matter how, I'm saying like fucking be a Nazi fascist, but if you're not even like at their level, fucking commie pinko leftist libtard, like holy crap, like I said I love guns, like I don't know what you, I just think that there should be a registry maybe, and it's like, oh.
Good call. Good call, Chad.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Speaking of Florida, remember that lawyer that was trying to, stop games? I forgot his name.
Yeah,
Oh
Jack
my
Thompson.
God.
Jack
There
Thompson.
you go.
Yeah, Florida, man. Just Florida.
Man, well, when was this? Back when we were on MySpace.
It was 2005. It was like,
a long time.
Why is he trying to come back?
no, I was just thinking about Florida and chat bringing up like games and stuff. Like,
I mean,
what? This is great game content.
are our viewers from Florida?
I don't know.
Because Floridians, I just want to say this right now. Floridians are the most powerful race in the world.
Go on. No, please expand on that.
Oh, I can't.
The actual master race. It's Floridian.
Yeah, Floridians.
Yikes. Oh no! Don't say Bortles again just because we bring up Florida. Damn you!
Every time.
Oh, it's strange. I never thought I would think about Jack Thompson again, but here I am going, man, what a time to have been around, right? Like where you see this thing that we all love, this medium that we all enjoy, and then you see it be under attack, and you're like, oh shit, this could go away. Like, oh,
Right.
if they fucking get away with this, we're fucked. Like that'd be.
What do we do for fun? Go back outside. Oh,
Do you remember when what we were concerned about politically was like video game? Like, what if they
video game bad?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest with you.
No, like there was a time when that was like the biggest concern was like whether
Video
video
game
games
bad.
were going to get blamed in politics or not. Like we weren't concerned about having a president that might or might not be, treasonous. It was just, oh, tan suit and video games are banned.
You're right. You're completely right on that. I'm kind of confused on when that sort of shit kind of went down. Because
Simpler time.
it was a simpler time. The hot coffee mod was one of the bigger things. Like,
Oh, boy.
Yeah, see, that was a huge deal once, and now like that kind of content is in games, just like in there.
but tastefully, okay.
It's just like in GTA now, GTA Online, and now that's completely unrated altogether.
Can you go have sex on GTA Online?
I know you could. No, I don't know about online. I mean, you can invite hookers.
Yeah, you can still pick up hookers in online.
Well,
yeah.
no, but hooker sex.
But having sex with them.
Hooker sex has always been just
No, but
in
like,
the car,
you
and
can
the
go
car
in,
does
like,
this.
first-person view, and you can watch
Yeah,
it from
Grand Theft
that.
Auto 3.
But does
The
it?
problem with the hot coffee.
First-person view, not like to be weird or anything, but can confirm.
But do you see nudity? Like I don't understand because like,
Not really, but I mean, that's more from just the graphical limitations of the game or anything else.
I mean the hot coffee. The reason why hot coffee was an issue was because it was a mini game.
It was a mini game, but you could only unlock it if you modded the game to unlock it.
Right.
There was no actual way to trigger it.
Yeah,
But it was something that they did add into the game. It was in the code, but they never activated it. There was no way to activate it.
Right, but now but see, that's why I always thought it was weird. That was the thing. I guess maybe because it's not sex, but in Dead to Rights, you go into a strip club and you talk to a stripper, and she's there, like, you know her, she's there to help you, and you basically like get her to dance, or you dance. I forgot who. I think you take control of the dancing, and so you basically are a stripper to distract the bad guys, so the good guy can sneak around behind them to get where he needs to go. And that was the mini game, was stripping. And I was like, yeah, shit like that happens all the time. Why is hot coffee a big deal? Like, you have to even mod it to get to it. Like, who cares? But apparently,
But it was the fact that it was in the game was what triggered it. They're like, oh, sex in video games. Ugh.
But what about God of War? Doesn't God of War do that shit now? Same with The Witcher?
Yeah, but this was way back when. Like, this was back in like 2005. I guess when people still consider video games as just for children, and it was like, oh, now kids can pick up these games, and then there are these files for you to have sex with hookers and.
Well, my big issue with all of that becomes, like, isn't that the reason why we had the ESRB made?
Yeah, that is exactly why we have it.
Like, post Mortal Kombat, we had a self-regulating service, and I get that the ESRB, especially lately, has gotten fucking like rubber stamp. Who gives a it's mature, whatever, it's bloody. But we created that to kind of regulate it, and so retailers follow at the very least. They don't give a shit about anything else, but if it has an M, they at the very least ask, "Hey, are you 18?" But I feel like no one really goes out of their way to like do the same kind of shops as like TABC, where they'll send a minor to go buy alcohol or a cigarette, and see if they'll, like, they don't send some 16-year-old to buy a mature game to kind of sting operation these guys. But I think maybe if they did enforce it more, people would hold it to a higher standard. But yeah, that's why we have this sort of thing. Like, I can't buy a fucking bottle of spray paint without them being asked, "Are you 18? Are you sure? Are you sure you're of age to buy this spray? It's a can of paint. I don't want you to be huffing it." It's like, all right, like.
I mean, what if I'm 18 and I want to huff it anyway?
Right? Like, what does that do? What does that change? I don't understand.
Nanny state.
I just think that it's strange that they were like, we gotta ban these kinds of things. Why? Like, what is it gonna do? I mean, I understand that, like, if a parent allows someone to get it, like, if a parent buys it, that's on them. It becomes a parenting issue. And I feel like if the parent is gonna allow that sort of shit to happen, it's gonna. My cousin, holy crap. Okay, speaking of like parenting and parental things, what is age appropriate, you think, if for Deadpool? If you were as a parent, like, where, I mean, like, I know none of us are parents, but like, where do you go? Like, yeah, let's watch Deadpool together.
Maybe 15.
Minimum
16.
age.
Yeah, teens, 15, 16 maybe. I don't know. Kids always think they're more mature than they are, but they never. So it's, I don't know. It deals with some heavy stuff.
I would say 13, maybe. If I was there.
Depending on the kid, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends on the kid's maturity. My cousin took her kids, and they're like 9 is the oldest.
No.
And the only reason I know that is because after when Deadpool 2 came out, her kids are now like 11, and she was like, "Hey, is Deadpool 2 appropriate for my kids? Do you guys think?" Immediately, I was like, "No, like, that's no, don't do that because of this and that. Like, don't do it." And she's like, "Oh, well, they already saw the first one." I'm like, "So you don't give a crap then?" Like,
or you just not gonna let them see the second part now?
Yeah, like, now, why are you asking now? You're there. You let them see Ryan Reynolds get fucked with a strap on International Women's Day. You seem to be totally fine with whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. Happy International Women's Day, and then he just tenses up. Like, nope. You're there. Where else can you go? You're a terrible parent, and your kids should be taken away from you. And that's just more like Southern California shit right there. Just SoCal Mexicans, dude.
I swear to God, SoCal Mexicans. I would know because I am one.
I am SoCal Mexican. I mean, I was born SoCal Mexican, so I mean, it's in my blood, kind of thing. I was just, transferred to Texas. Got that crossover going. Got to get that crossover. All right.
I've been to Texas once, and
you went to bad Texas. I'm sorry,
I went
dude.
to bad Texas.
Like,
there's a good Texas.
There's a lot of There's a lot of great Texas.
There's a lot of Texas.
It's because there's a lot of Texas. So some parts are really great, but you went to bad Texas. I'm sorry, dude. Houston is not good Texas. Like,
I've been to a lot of Texas, actually.
I mean, that's football. Like, you're there for, and so football Texas is a whole.
Not the only reason I've been to Texas, but yeah.
Mainly football Texas is definitely a different kind of Texas. I mean, that's a lot of it. High school football, college, it all bleeds into each other. But like, overall, I think that if you visit certain place, like, I would never go to Texas by choice. That's not cool. A lot of places in Texas, you kind of just need to have more of a purpose. Like, if I'm gonna go to the beach, like, you got to know what area you're gonna go to the beach for Texas, and then you got to know, like, where you're going to hunt, like, where you're gonna go to camping. Like, there's a lot of great things to do and a lot of things to see and be a part of, but I never suggest to go to, like, UT games. And don't ever go to an A&M game. Like, don't do it. Especially if you have any opinion about football, don't go to, unless you're for them. Don't go. Just don't go. Because you're not gonna.
I've been the visitor to an A&M game.
It's not a fun time.
Nah.
Go to a high school football game. I recommend that. If you find a fucking, like, town that I would say 2A to 3A, that's where you're gonna find people just having a blast. Yeah, they're having a blast.
Where the cities aren't big enough for them to have anything else going on Friday night, so they do high school football.
That's where I grew up, and it's the best. It's literally the best.
That was Bishop.
That 100%. You basically everyone's there, and you see, like, oh yeah, there's a class of '97 up there, right there. There they are. They're still coming to the games. Something I learned that our PE coach, like our coach, he coached baseball, this and that, and I always thought, like, oh, he's just really passionate about this and that. Turns out he threw the very first ever Bishop Badger baseball pitch. Like, that's how, from the program first started in the 70s. And so, like, there's all these pictures of him and that crew. That crew is still there in that city, like, hanging out and doing shit. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I was like, man, I thought one of you would leave. Like,
that's some hometown pride.
It really is, dude. These people are fanatics, but they're really, like, even when this team sucks, everyone's like, woo, woo. They're really supportive of our shitty team. I don't do camping. I do hotels and clubs. I'm black. Fuck camping. Too many horror movies there, or, like, you saw Get Out and all of a sudden it's just never again. Nah, I'm gonna get caught out there. So someone's gonna take over my brain. Fuck that. Oh, speaking of Jordan Peele, you guys seen the stuff for Us? This Is Us?
I have. A little bit. I haven't looked at it too much because I try really hard not to see too much about movies before I watch them. It just ruins it.
It's good
Jordan
policy.
Peele, so I'm interested. Yeah, it's just better. Even bad movies are better if you don't know what's happening.
It's like is it Us or This Is Us?
It's Us. This Is Us is a TV show.
That's why I've also heard that phrase. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Phot.
It's a weird, like, hyper dramatic slice of life show.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very different. I assume.
I would assume we thought the same thing. But Phot, have you seen the? Well, first, have you seen the fucking first Jordan Peele movie? Do you know what we're talking about?
I know which movie you're talking about. I haven't seen it yet.
Do you know? You know do you know who Jordan?
I don't have a whole lot of fun.
Do you know who Jordan Peele is?
I know.
And don't just say he's a black guy, because that's not right.
He's a black director.
He is a director now. Yes, this is true.
Wasn't he a comedian? Wasn't he on Comedy Central?
He was on Comedy Central. Do you know what the show is called?
No, I don't. Because I don't have cable. Or I don't watch cable.
But
I just know that he was on Comedy Central.
But they've been a comedy duo like forever.
Yeah, I don't have fun.
Okay, so it's Jordan Peele and Michael Keaton.
I had fun once and it was awful.
So there's Key and Peele. They had their show. They basically picked up the sketch comedy kind of area where Chappelle had left off, and they're very clever. They have a lot of great bits that still get quoted to me randomly. Like someone still says Aaron at me, and I'm just like.
The football names that was really big for a while there. That was them.
The penalty one. That was a big one too.
The 3 pumps.
The 3 pumps, dude.
So they're
You
still
get 2.
No,
Yeah.
they stopped making him. No more as good as Chappelle. That's true, but they were quality though. They still had some quality, like the bitch.
Yeah, Chappelle's show is kind of hard to watch now just because of how poor the quality of the actual like recording is.
Yeah, it's more like
it's rough.
I think
Letterboxed and grainy. It's rough.
I think they could have done an HD release, like re-release of it. They could totally do that.
They probably could. I just don't think it'll happen.
I don't think it'll happen because a lot of those were really pushing an envelope. And I think it's very weird, like, if you think about entertainment at that time, because you have Chappelle's show and you have, like, the Boondocks, and you have all this stuff happening at the exact same time and really pushing racial button issues that no one else is really talking about or joking about, making comedy about. I didn't realize how often I was just inundated with, like, the N-word so much because of those shows. Like, it was just one of those things where that sort of casual conversation I didn't grow up in. Like, you know, we had, you could on 2 hands you can count the number of families who are black in where I was from. That's how, like, there weren't very many. Like, they were like, oh yeah, there's this family and that family and that family. Like, that's kind of that's all you knew about. Like, that's it. It wasn't a major, like, no, everyone's like this. This is how our conversations are. But here's our little group of white Mexican kids all, like, using that language, despite the fact that none of us probably should have ever used that language. And it's like, ooh. I remember why I said it so much, because I just thought that was just the vernacular of how things were.
Right.
Like, and that's how we were all just kind of like, yeah, what's up, dude? Like, what's up, my... Oh. Now it's like, oh, shit. What a different time of entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, Phot, did you ever watch the Boondocks? Do you have fun then, too? Or were you just never having fun? Unless
No, I've seen the Boondocks.
Okay. Like... My goodness, I'm just... Boondocks supposed to be getting a movie, according to chat.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Let's to the Googles. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Boondocks movie. There's a fan-made trailer. January 31st, 2013. Are you ready for the live-action Boondocks movie? So that's 2013. I can't see anything. There's Boondocks 2013, but that's the movie centers on a hybrid plant animals concocted with a Filipino old folks tale about a tree said to be a source of evil. I don't think that this is that movie.
That's not the Boondocks.
That's not the Boondocks. That's just Boondocks. Hey, Salad Tosser, what's up? Thanks for the sub. But is are they supposed to be getting a movie? I didn't know about this. What would a Boondocks movie be about? Like they kind of hit their topics really, like he punches them really fast and really hard without really going so far.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a good question.
Like I'm trying to think of what you could do. Uncle Ruckus. I mean, an Uncle Ruckus movie.
Uncle Ruckus. Yeah, I mean, I would watch that. I mean, they did kind of have a live action Uncle Ruckus sort of thing. I don't know. It was a bunch of just like what show tie-ins, things, commercials.
Like Aaron Magruder apparently in 2013, according to Screen Rant, had said that he worked on the Uncle Ruckus movie, a live action film based on the glass-eyed, self-hating man with revitiligo. And he created a Kickstarter page to help with some of the funding.
I do kind of remember that.
Yeah,
That's ringing some bells.
Like apparently there's an official Facebook page that this thing links to, and immediately it's just a picture of Uncle Ruckus saying, "Stop snitching on my president." So at least the humor's still there. Oh my god. Candace Owens is a killer robot programmed by racist AI to assassinate Kanye West. Like, what?
Wait, say that again, because you kind of cut out there.
Yeah, you cut it a little bit.
Candace Owens is a killer robot programmed by racist AI to assassinate Kanye West.
And that's the premise of the Boondocks movie?
No, that's just literally what is on this Facebook page, and it is insane. Like, is this is
Kanye West.
And apparently it's Aaron Magruder's page, so I think he's just posting random crap that the characters would do.
Okay.
This from a post March 8th, 2018. So this month. He basically says it's been a few years since the Boondocks went dark, and things have gotten, well, interesting. There's still catching up to do, blah, blah, blah. Returning to the Boondocks has been complicated prospect for a bunch of reasons, legal or personal, and the biggest challenge is always a point of view worth sharing. Inappropriate Negro humor is serious stuff. I'm proud of this series and what it accomplished, but I don't own it and can't revisit it. Huh. I guess because he doesn't actually own the characters anymore? Or maybe he never owned the characters? Next year, the Boondocks turns 20 years old. Wow.
From since they came out in what, like in TV, or since they've been a newspaper?
Newspaper comic.
Newspaper comic. Somebody throw a chair, I'm angry. Yeah, like, Uncle Ruckus loves the white man. Damn right, Salad Tossers. He sold them when he did season 3. Oh, okay, that makes sense. This is not an announcement of the show returning or anything.
Kind of went down.
Oh, me?
Yep, there you are. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. A few months ago, I started playing with the idea of video games, something I've always wanted to do but never made the time for. No. And it's right for the Boondocks. I have no idea what the App Store will let us get away with. It's uncharted territory. And good to do something completely new with the characters. It won't be for every fan of the show or the comic strip, but it's equally as sincere and still bizarre political satire that is largely about race and inappropriate for children. So, no movie, no Uncle Ruckus movie, but we'll be getting a game. Apparently, he's gonna look into making a game, and the picture that is associated with that is you have Sarah holding Jasmine with a crossbow, and here I'll put it up on the stream real quick. Like it's Grandpa with the whip with an army hat.
It's like it's kind of like a Walking Dead sort of thing.
It looks very RPG-ish, and you have Riley there with a samurai sword and a gas mask. You have Riley there with his baggy pants and a bandana flipping off the reader, and of course you have I forgot the lawyer's name. What's the lawyer's name?
The what?
The lawyer.
Oh, Tom?
Tom Dubois. That's right. So you have Tom there with a shield that says A, and he has like football pads and looks like he's about to piss his pants, and he has a croquet thing, or is it croquet? I don't even know. Lacrosse. Yeah, lacrosse. He has a lacrosse paddle. So Sarah looks badass with Jasmine scared, and then Tom scared out of his mind, and of course the Grandpa Riley.
Huey with the katana.
Huey with the katana, dude. Like, it looks great. So I mean, if they're gonna do a game, he's gonna do a game. Okay, like it's interesting, but the show's not coming back. There doesn't seem to be a movie, so I don't know. That seems to be the current status of the Boondocks at the moment, as of this month. Croquet. Hey, look, listen. I don't know white people sports like lacrosse very well. I'm sorry. Like it's a handle with a net and you throw the ball and I don't know what to say. Like I really don't know what to say to that. It is what it is, okay? Yeah, but that's a very weird time of entertainment, don't you think? Like I don't know if you guys were ever really as deep into it, I guess.
I mean, I watched it. I didn't know it was a comic for a long time. I haven't read that. But...
The comic's still really good because again, I feel like it started as a comic. It is short, sweet, and very punctual, and very sharp in what he's joking about. And so, like expanding it to a show to me was always one of those things where, oh man, you're gonna fill 20 minutes an episode on these topics. Like, okay, and it worked perfectly. And then again, a movie, like I don't know, man, an hour and a half. Like, oh no, the comics didn't end. He's still doing that, but apparently he says he doesn't own the characters, so like we'll see.
I guess he's still producing content for him.
Probably,
copyright.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Adult Swim owns the characters now.
Maybe. I mean, I honestly don't know. But overall, it's just been interesting. Because you say you don't watch TV, so I mean, I couldn't imagine them doing a. Did the comics end? I didn't know the comics ended. Did the comics end? Oh my god! I have to now look up the comics. I have to look it up on like Wikipedia and stuff like that, I guess. Oh no, they ran from 1996 to 2006. So yeah, he basically stopped doing the comics.
It's like he seems like he stopped doing the comics to do the TV show, and then after the TV show ended.
Yeah, how weird. Because I don't know, it's weird to me to think that someone stopped doing something like that. I mean, I know Bill Watterson ended Calvin and Hobbes. Like,
I mean, maybe he's just probably been doing it for so long, he kind of wanted to just get away from it for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that for sure.
Okay, so to kind of just change gears completely. Live services, thoughts? Like, you think games not having fucking proper single player aspects and like being able to finish a game, is that a thing that you guys like care about? That it just
I still prefer playing single player narrative driven games. It is still what I prefer to do. I mean, I enjoy online games. I enjoy playing with you guys. I enjoy part, but I also enjoy being able to do things at my own pace and be patient and meticulous with things if I want to, or be stupid if I want to, and it not come back to bite me every time. Like when you play online games, you have to be more or less on your game constantly, or you're not going to enjoy yourself. You don't have to do that with a single player game if you're just fucking around. So it is important to me. More than any online game that's come out in the past several years, want a high def remaster of KOTOR or the Mass Effect series. That's what I want in gaming right now.
Phot?
I kind of really want to play Mass Effect again.
Yeah, I want to play Mass Effect with a better engine.
I don't even care if Mass Effect 3 had a pretty meh ending. I still want to play it.
I enjoyed the hell out of Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, it was kind of a mess, but I played the fuck out of it. Like, I like that kind of game. I miss that kind of game, really.
Okay, what was the last game that I've played in story? I think it was Undertale, and I didn't even finish it. I just watched other people finish it.
I mean, and there's another aspect. As you get older, like, we now have the option to be like, I don't feel like finishing that game. You can literally just go on YouTube, go on Twitch, and watch someone fucking finish a game, and be like, oh, okay, that's what happens. It's possible.
I guess
it's possible if you're too busy. It's possible.
Not my thing, though. Not my thing.
I can't remember the last game I've actually finished in terms of a story. I think it was the Master Chief Collection when it came out, like I don't know, it was like 3 months in. Me and Chris just played through the entire thing on Legendary, and it was so buggy. We were somehow we were like in two separate lobbies, but also being able to influence each other's story mode. I don't know, it was weird. Like, he could get into a tank, and then I would get into that same tank, and I would control it, but then I'd lose control of it, and he'd just like go somewhere completely different.
That's really man. I wish you could have recorded that. That sounds fucking
I
amazing.
had some recordings of it. I don't know if I have them anymore. I don't know if they're on his Xbox. I don't know if I might have them on on an online thing. But it was so weird because there were just times where we would be playing, and like Chris, where's that the flood level where you're playing as the Arbiter and you're trying to get the index. You know how you're on that like gondola and you're just getting flooded with the flood.
Right. Like,
yeah. So there, you can kind of cheese that fight if you just hide in the back and not do anything until it lands, and then you just run off the gondola. Chris did that, but like he kept complaining about how it was like, why did you jump off? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm shooting the flood. He's like, no, on my stream, you just jumped off for no reason. And then it would happen to me where he would just like run and shoot into a wall with a rocket launcher. It would kill him on my end, but he would still be playing on his end. But it would reset for me. So like what we had to do is we just had to like, using his direction, I would just have to hide somewhere so he could complete his run. And then once he reached the end of the level, it would just stay black until I finished my end of, I guess, until I reached that exact same part on my end. So he kind of just had to, like, just hide so that I could continue it on my own. And then it didn't continue until we had both reached the end. It was so weird. It was just, I don't know, like, MCC had a lot of weird issues. And at first, when I heard about them, I was like, "Oh, well, it's only multiplayer. We're only going to play campaign." But I don't know. I guess co-op was affected too. And on top of that, I think I remember the Xbox Live servers just not working properly. Like I don't know, they were laggy or whatever.
Man, when wasn't Xbox Live laggy?
But I think that was the last game I've ever played in terms of just sitting down to play for the story.
Like, I don't know, it's one of those things where, because I've been playing the Division 2, right? And that is very story driven, but because it has the same kind of live service, feel that you get to the end, then there's the end game, then new content comes out and you keep doing it. You never really beat it. Like, the whole point is to keep it going in some way.
Oh, wait, no, that's not right. That's not true. The last game I played for its story was Destiny 2. I beat it and then I just stopped caring.
But there's never an end. You don't end. You go back into the
Yeah, I
Crucible.
know.
You are letting down Shaxx for not going into the Crucible.
I gave him my all in Destiny 1. If he doesn't like it, then he can go fuck himself. I did it with No Land Beyond. Until that gun comes back in Destiny 2, I don't care about it.
That's really close-minded. Phot. We have new exotics now. Okay.
And they're all crap.
I mean, that's a matter of opinion. Like, apparently, ever since Forsaken, it was actually got a lot better. It was hard for me to get back into it because, again, by that point, the clan had fallen apart and, like, everyone was out playing other games. And I'm just like, oh, kill myself. But, you know. Because that game is not that fun solo. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just not that fun solo. It's a party. Division, I love playing solo. Like, it's a whole different, like, difficulty and feel when you're on your own. But, like, as a, you know, like, by yourself in Destiny 2, I'm just like, alright, time to kill some more Vex. Time to get into another... I think I can get heroic.
I guess.
I could do this with a heroic public event. So I guess just to wrap it up then is I hope that whenever it comes out on PC, we can all sit there and relive Halo for a third time.
Hell yeah!
Like
I'm really excited
Halo
about it.
Reach.
But
I just want to play.
I gotta get Lauren through her paces so she could experience Halo too, because she's never played.
We're definitely gonna have a playthrough with hopefully us three plus Lauren, and
hell yeah. Oh hell yeah! We're gonna carry her so hard.
it's gonna.
Did Halo Reach? What was it? Was it 2 co-op or was it 4 co-op?
It was 4 co-op.
It was 4.
But you only had double split screen. That was the whole local multiplayer was 2.
Yeah, well, it won't matter now because PC.
Yeah.
It won't matter, and hopefully everyone will.
Unless you realize you need Xbox Live Go to play.
Yeah.
And
I guess I gotta start using
And on
Bing again.
that note,
and on that note, I guess we'll end it there, and
I guess it's 2008 again because we need Xbox Live.
see you guys again. Hopefully,
Sorry to ruin your night.
I can access my old email that I haven't used in a decade, and I no longer have the password to.
We'll make it work.
I just depressed myself.
Figure
All right. Well, thanks for everybody. Catch you next week.
Bye.